from Pink Tie Affair, and today we're going to talk about how to make a capsule wardrobe using clothing that you already own. So capsule wardrobes are big these days. You've probably seen a lot of other videos of this type out on YouTube and other places. The first and most important question I think you should ask is, why do I even want to do this? Like, what about this whole capsule wardrobe deal appeals to me? I know with Marie Kondo's book going around, like, cleaning our houses is an actual trend these days. And, maybe you're like, I want to own less and I want to really enjoy the things I own. Or you could be in a position where your budget doesn't really allow you to have a large wardrobe, but you still want to look good and put together every day and have that variety. Capsules are also good for that as well. But since the reason is so important, before we even start to do anything today, we're going to nail down the goals of this exercise. Obviously, I am not going to cover every single possible reason you may have for wanting to do this. I'm going to take you through a process that I went through myself around a year ago towards the goal of making a wardrobe that is small, full of only things I liked, and in which everything was styled very easily together. We're first going to focus on finding your personal style. Then we're going to extract the pieces from your existing wardrobe that fit into that style into a rough draft of a capsule. Finally, we're going to refine that collection. Before we begin, consider subscribing if you like fashion content that's focused on helping you get the most enjoyment and the most wear out of the clothes that you already have and anything that you choose to buy.
I aim to get monetized on YouTube. If at the time when this goal is met, America's medical situation is still ongoing, 100% of the proceeds from the first month will go to Feeding America to be distributed to food pantries all over the country to help those whose livelihoods have been affected by the situation. If things have calmed down by then, 100% of the money will go to the Rainforest Coalition. The Rainforest Coalition is an international organization that helps slow the process of global warming by helping countries that have rainforests to prevent deforestation. I recognize that there are a lot of other needs in the world that may feel more immediate, but I think that preserving our planet as a whole is an outcome that benefits everyone, and that making sure life is still possible decades from now is just as important as improving our lives for the next couple of years.
So, if you would like to watch fashion content and donate to charity at the same time, consider clicking the button. Okay, so back to your wardrobe. The first thing, as I said we're going to do, is we're going to find your personal style. Why is this important? In my observation, a lot of people, and myself included, are at the same time attracted to a lot of different styles, but also are not the best at telling which of those many styles is something that we would enjoy wearing on a day-to-day basis, as opposed to things that just look cool or look good on other people. The problem with liking so many styles and, buying things from all these styles, which by themselves look really great, is that they're all different styles. And so then your wardrobe is kind of all over the place. There aren't really many unifying factors, probably, in color or in silhouette. And it makes things very difficult to put together in actual outfits. So you end up with a huge wardrobe, but very little to actually wear out. However, I also believe that at any one time, every person has one primary style, and that is the style that they gravitate towards every day. Which is, by the way, different from, say, the style that you admire the most on other people or on runways. So, in order to really zero in on your personal style, we're going to start off with a thought exercise. I want you to write down or think about every style that you like and that you've bought clothing for before. If this sounds kind of vague to you, how about this? Picture a couple articles of clothing that you've bought for yourself which you really like, and then find the words to describe them. I don't mean what they have in common, I mean the individual pieces. Describe the individual pieces. Are they girly? Are they masculine? Are they classic or street style? And this is going to be very different for everyone. In fact, you might not even find the words within, those generic fashion terms like classic or edgy. So, for example, when I did this a year ago, I came up with 4 styles, and they were girly, classic feminine, colorful, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, like the show. If you've ever seen it, everyone's dressed in these sleek black and gray outfits, some dark blues, and it's so utilitarian and tending towards the masculine side. But yeah, that is a look that I like. You might not even want to categorize your clothes by what they look like. You may want to go with how they make you feel. Do you buy clothes because they make you feel adventurous or creative or quirky or carefree? Just take your time and find the words that are right for you. I believe that the way people describe their personal style or the styles that they like, the way that people think about clothing is going to be as unique as the styles and the people themselves. And really nailing this step and really understanding how you think about your clothes is going to help you a lot in the later steps. Having said that, it is absolutely okay if you don't feel confident that you're exactly spot on right now. There's going to be plenty of chances later on in the process, in fact it's built into the process, where you figure out that maybe you need a couple tweaks, and there are plenty of opportunities to do that, so just do your best here, but don't freak out over it. When you've come up with your list of styles, the second thing you want to do is gather up all your clothing. And by that I mean all of the clothing that you think of as, outfits. So not your pajamas, not any loungewear if you don't wear that out of the house, but do include it if you do wear it out of the house. Not any of your underwear or anything like that. Just things that you would normally use to make outfits out of. Put all of that clothing onto a flat surface. It could be your bed if that's large enough, or it could be the floor. Now we are going to sort all your clothes into piles based on the styles you had identified before. In the process of doing this, we are also going to do a little bit of pruning. I'm sure you've heard of the famous Marie Kondo question of, does this bring me joy? Well, we're going to do something kind of similar to that, but a little bit less strict. Instead of asking, does this bring me joy, we're going to ask, does it fit? And do I hate it? We're not going to be as strict because you may find later on that something you don't really feel strongly about right now is something that you actually get a lot of wear out of and really love once you've styled it in a different way. However, if something literally does not fit on your body, or you look at it and you're just like, I absolutely cannot stand this, that's okay, that one can go. Do your best here. I know that there are going to be some pieces, especially basics, which you're not going to very easily fit into one or more of your styles. In that case, just put that piece of clothing with other pieces that you often wear it with. Again, don't freak out about miscategorizing anything. There are plenty of chances to bring it back later. When you're done, Everything will either be in a style pile or in your sell or donate pile, at least for the time being. The next step, and this is going to be absolutely insane, so like brace yourself, is I want you to put all your clothing back into your wardrobe, except for the sell and donate pile. Yep, just put everything back. Except this time I want you to put things that are in the same style close together. So if before you put all your tops in one place and all your jeans in one place or something like that, don't do that this time. Section them out based on your different styles. Your storage situation, your drawers or your closet might not really be designed to store clothing this way, and if that's true, just bear with me. It is not going to be like this in the long run. Now, you're going to go about your daily life and just wear your clothes. Every day when you get dressed, I want you to come up with an outfit using pieces from only one style. If you're not confident that you'll be able to come up with outfits quickly when you're getting ready in the morning, that's fine. Just take some time out of your evening or your weekend, come up with a couple of ideas, and you'll be ready to go in the morning. However, I do want to make sure that you wear these outfits all day. So don't just come up with your outfits in the evening or the weekend and, call it that. I need you to wear these outfits for whole entire days. And at the end of the day, you're going to take some time to pay attention to how those outfits made you feel. Note down which style the outfit was from that day, how much you liked it, whether or not it was physically comfortable for doing the things you normally do, and whether or not you feel like yourself in that outfit. After doing this for a couple weeks, I bet you're going to start noticing a couple things. I think you're going to notice that you wear outfits from one style more than the others. I think you're going to find that it is easier for you to make outfits from that same style as opposed to your other styles. I also think that even when you wear your other styles, they might be really nice outfits, but you just won't feel as good. And I think at that point, it'll be pretty clear what your style is, or at least it'll be pretty clear what your style is most close to. I think this method works because you're not trying to guess or anticipate or predict what you're going to want to wear and how that's going to actually play out in your day-to-day life. I think that style is a bit aspirational in that, if you're not 100% happy with the way you're dressing right now and you want to dress better, you do need to be able to visualize what better is going to look like for you. However, I don't think that translates to you being able to just sort of concoct a style out of the experimental lab of your mind and say, okay, this is gonna be my style going forward. I say this because I actually tried doing that for myself this winter. Okay, so there's this other YouTuber that I follow, and I really love her style. It's classic and feminine and has a lot of whites and creams and baby pinks. And, I really like the look of that. And I also thought that this would be if I'm going to change my style, this is a style that is advantageous for me to choose because it is age appropriate. Yeah, so let's not talk about that right now, but let me be on record to say that, that is a very suspect concept to me. But anyway, so I really liked her style, and when it came time to think of my winter capsule, because I didn't really have an idea out of the box of what I wanted to do with that, I thought, okay, I will try to emulate her style. Here's the problem. First of all, I don't have that much white or cream in my wardrobe to begin with. And the reason for that is that I don't really find those colors exciting. I don't really like them that much naturally, and so I just never bought stuff in those colors. And also, like, cream on my skin tone just looked kind of weird. So for reference, this YouTuber I'm talking about, she's Caucasian, so I mean, I really should have known that stuff was gonna look different on her than on me, but I didn't think of that, and cream looks great on her, but not on me. So there's that. And so I'd be trying to put together these outfits thinking, oh, what would she wear? But even when I succeeded out of the meager scraps of white and cream I had, I didn't think those outfits looked good on me. I feel like they looked kind of, like, I guess boring. And I just felt kind of washed out, again, because cream just doesn't work well with my skin. And the one time that I was able to come up with an outfit that both suited me personally and was also her style, like, there is one outfit that I think hits that mark. I mean, it was a nice outfit. It looked really good, but I did not feel like myself. I felt like I was playing dress up or wearing some kind of costume. So all in all, it didn't work out. I'm not saying that if you choose a style that you don't currently wear and you go for it, this is absolutely going to happen to you. I just think that if you choose your capsule wardrobe based on styles you already know you like, then you are in a better position to come up with something that you'll actually like wearing. Okay, so when you're ready to say, yes, I have found my style or something very close to my style, I'm ready to commit to this, then I want you to take all your other styles out of your closet or drawers and then go through them just one more time. This time I want you to pick out anything that could work for your primary style, but that you had just for one reason or another put in a different style when you sorted through this the first time. Put all of those pieces that you picked out from your other styles back into your closet or your drawers, and then store the rest of your clothes away somewhere. Do not at this point get rid of them yet. You know that thing that people say about how you should get rid of a piece of clothing if you haven't worn it in a year? So I actually recommend that you don't get rid of something unless you haven't worn it in a year. This is specifically because, firstly, when we go through this, we may miss the mark sometimes, and I just don't want you to later, a couple of months down the road, think, oh, that thing that I had, that would have worked out really well if I hadn't sent it off to Goodwill. Or you could do seasonal wardrobes like I do. There are certainly elements of my capsules across all the seasons, but there are also some significant differences, like the color palettes are pretty different, and of course the items are going to be different too between winter and summer and all kinds of weather differences. So just hang on to those other pieces, and if after a year you think, okay, for real, I haven't worn this and I've never felt the desire to wear this again, okay, that can go. Alright, so there you go. You have your rough draft of your capsule wardrobe. What you did when attempting to choose your style in the first place, meaning you're just still gonna go about your daily life, wearing your clothes, putting together outfits. As you do this, you're going to notice that even among the pieces that technically fit your primary style, there are some that you wear less because you like them less, or you find them difficult to pair, or any other reason. You might also find, especially if you have a lot of basic pieces but a statement style, that you have a lot of things where you think, well, I'm not super excited about this piece, but it does go technically with these other things, so okay, I'll keep it. And it's fine if you do that, but I encourage you not to settle. Like I said at the beginning, one of my goals when I first did my capsule wardrobe was that I wanted to have a wardrobe that I loved, full of things that I loved. And that meant just raising the bar above, it's okay. It means asking the question, does this bring me joy? It means setting a goal for myself to make outfits using only pieces that I like individually. So now when I look at my wardrobe, I can look at every single thing and think, wow, I am so glad I bought you. Not because, or not only because you look so great with everything else, but because you look great, I feel great, I am so excited to wear you. And that just made styling my wardrobe even more fun, because instead of saying, okay, here's one piece that I really love, how do I fill up the rest of my outfits with, basics that don't clash, I get to say, all right, here is a piece that I love, what other pieces that I also love can I wear with it? And it just makes me feel so great from head to toe about everything I wear. My spring wardrobe this year is all in all a pretty statement wardrobe just all together. Like, it's very girly, half of it's pink, the other half of it is light blue. It's got like a lot of florals and a lot of really cute prints and things like that, and I love it so much, it makes me so happy. It doesn't have a lot of those traditional basic pieces that people tend to use to like tone down their more statement things. And I think it works out perfectly well that way. In my next video, in fact, I'm going to show you that wardrobe, every single piece I consider as part of that capsule. And then I'm going to style it in a ton of different ways just to show you that you can totally have a small wardrobe, a statement wardrobe full of pieces that are pretty remarkable individually, but look like definitely remarkable when put together. You can have a wardrobe like that, have very few traditional basics, and still be able to get a lot of wear out of that wardrobe. So if you want to see that, subscribe. As you're doing this, one question you're probably going to have is, okay, I'm refining, I'm taking out things I don't like. Where do I stop? Like, how small of a capsule is small enough? There's a lot of advice out there about this. Like, I've heard people bring out some narrow and like weirdly specific ranges, like 37 to 43 pieces total or something like that. And I kind of think that is probably someone, having done a survey of how large wardrobes people have when they say they have a capsule and just did an average or something like that. But like, I don't think that there's any magic in the number 35 or 43 or really any number. I recommend that you stop when you feel like your wardrobe is working its best for you. Questions you can ask yourself include, is this a manageable size for me and for my life and for my space? So if your closet or your drawers are still like overfilled with clothes and everything stuffed together and like you really have to yank to get things out, I think you could go smaller. But if you're like me, and after getting together your primary style in your capsule and, trying out all of your outfits that you can make with that capsule, you start to think, like, wow, that's a lot of outfits. I don't think I can get through that many outfits. And you start to freak out a little because you feel like you have too many clothes still, then yeah, like, go down. But if, maybe at the end of this you didn't actually cut down your clothing by a terrible lot. Like, maybe you still have half the clothes you originally did, you have your 60 or 100 pieces or whatever. But you think, like, I'm having a really good time with this wardrobe. It fits in my space, everything goes really nicely together, I like all the pieces. Then sure, like, no one's going to arrest you for having more than 40 pieces of clothing. For me, I think the sweet spot for a capsule wardrobe is one that's, again, small enough for you to manage, and that you like every single piece that is in there individually, that is big enough so that when you mix and match, you get enough variety that you're not bored with any of your clothes, but also small enough, this one's optional, but small enough that in order to get that variety, you have to do a little bit of mixing and matching and like putting in accessories and things like that. I say that because my favorite part of having done a capsule wardrobe is that I have few enough things like within my line of sight that it feels very doable for me to take every single top and pair it with every single bottom and just see what comes out and see what I like. And it actually makes me like the clothes I have even more because I see, how many ways I can style them and how much use I'm getting out of them. So yeah, basically that is a really long-winded way of saying your capsule wardrobe is complete when you say it is. Alright, so that's all I have for you today. I really hope this helps someone. When I did it for myself, it was really exciting, and I've never been happier or more content with the wardrobe that I have, even though it's so much smaller than the one I had before. And I feel like the process has taught me things that have applied to other areas in my life besides what I wear, so I found it just so valuable. Leave a comment if you decided to do a capsule or are going to do one in part or solely because of this video. Like, I'd really like to know if someone else got value out of this experience. So yeah, if you have a couple moments and you decided to do it, I'd really like to hear about how it went. And that's all for me today, so I will see you in the next one. Bye!
Forests to prevent deforestation. I recognize that there are a lot of other needs in the world that may feel more immediate, but I think that preserving our planet as a whole is an outcome that benefits everyone. And that making sure life is still possible decades from now is just as important as improving our lives for the next couple of years.